Hello everyone, welcome back to Exam Prep Solutions. In this short video, I want to walk you through what I would do exactly if I needed to pass the FE exam again. So I passed it in 2020 on my first attempt, but I know the test has changed a bit, and I just want to walk through what would be a process like if I needed to pass it again. And hopefully this process applies to you as you're going forward to pass the FE exam. So I'm going to walk you through everything I would do to make sure I had a basically 100% chance to pass again. So you're going to want to listen up and pay attention here. If you want a free schedule and practice plan for you to pass the FE exam that gives you a 90-day schedule, you can find my free guide in the description down below and in the pinned comment. But I'm going to jump into the video here and I'm going to break down exactly what I would do. So take some notes. Let's dive right in. Okay, so here I have my document, how I would study if I need to pass the FE exam again in 2026. I'm going to assume like a time horizon of about 90 days. So let's say I had roughly 3 months to do this, okay? I don't have a year, I don't have 2 years, and no one wants to study for that long anyways. That's unproductive in my opinion. I think 90 days is a perfect amount of time. So time horizon is about 90 days. Okay, to pass this thing in 90 days, what do I need to do first? On day 1, I would begin my assessment. I need to know what I'm good at. I need to know what my strengths are on the exam, and I need to know what questions I'm just not getting. So I would begin my assessment, and not being my assessment, I begin my assessment. And how exactly would I go about doing that? Well, practice tests are great. NCES has online practice tests on their website. I think it's like $50 for 50 questions or something like that. In my opinion, it's worth the money. If you can get the practice questions from NCES themselves, that's going to be a great resource because they're the ones making the exam. So I would probably begin there and do 100 practice questions, even though it would be a little investment up front. Even then, when I was back taking the test, they had a book that you could buy. It was like $50 or something, and it was one practice exam. That was very, very critical in my studying journey. So practice test, 100 practice questions, and I would go through it. And maybe I wouldn't sit down and do it all in one sitting. I don't actually think that's necessary. I'd probably do it over the course of maybe 3 or 4 days, actually, focusing on the problems instead of just trying to get through them all to get the practice test done. That doesn't really give you a good idea of what your strengths are. That just gives you an idea of how fresh everything is. So I would spend 3 or 4 days doing that. So that's like, 25 to 30 questions per day. It also allows you, you can do it in 1.5-hour chunks, right? That's pretty manageable. Like if it's during the week or something like that, in 1.5-hour chunks. And then after I got done with the exam, I would go through and grade the entire thing. So grade the entire practice exam. And of course, NCES isn't the only place that there's practice exams. There's free ones out there. There's paid for ones out there. Doesn't really matter. I think NCES is the best, but it doesn't really matter as long as you get the mix of questions that you see on the FE reference manual and in terms of the test specifications. So grade the entire exam in total and by topic. This is really important. So let's look at the benchmarks here for what would be good results, bad results, what would require more effort and more studying. So for example, there's 110 questions, right, on the entire exam. So 110 questions, let's say you got 50 right. Let's just do different amounts here. Okay, let's just go through like different amounts here. So 110 questions total. Let's say you got 50 total correct. Okay, that would be significantly below 50%. I always tell people a good target is 70%. That's not a hard and fast rule. Nowhere does NCES ever say this, but it's a safe target for you to shoot for if you're studying for the exam. You can feel pretty confident if you get about 70 questions right, you're probably going to pass 70 to 75. I have never seen any information that's contrary to that. So 50 questions, we have a lot of work to do if we only get 50 right. And 50 or lower, you got a lot of work to do. Okay. Let's say we get in between, about 60 questions right, okay? This is solid, but still need an aggressive study plan. Now, 60 is actually pretty good if you're just taking the test, kind of cold right off the bat. That means you're fairly close. In the range or around 70, good spot. We won't need an arduous study plan. We don't need an aggressive study plan there. You're already kind of in a good spot. And then 70 plus, you are ready soon. You can probably take the exam even sooner than 90 days. But those are the different ranges that we're going to be in. So I would find out where I'm at, total problems, and then now let's talk about topics. I would go through and weight each of the topics there. So on the FE exam specifications, it has each topic, how many questions there are, a general range, and I would go through each of those. Okay, what did I do on math? How did I do on dynamics? How did I do on, fluid mechanics, right? Go through each of those and calculate it out. And it'll become very clear very quickly what your strong topics are and what your weak topics are. If you're getting greater than 75 to 80%, on a specific topic, you're in good shape. I wouldn't spend too much time worrying about that one. The first one you want to look at is, are there any topics that you just straight up bombed? Like you got no questions right, or you got 1 or 2 questions right. So find the topics that you bombed, and then find the topics you did less than 50% on. Okay? These are the weak point topics that we can make the most gains with. So, for example, let's say you're really bad at mechanics materials. You got less than 50%. You got like a third of the questions right. But doing just some basic studying on mechanics materials and brushing up on our fundamentals, we can take that from 33% to 50%, which is still not good, but that might be a couple questions in there that you might be able to answer on the exam. So let's say you took your practice exam and you got, 60 questions right, like I said in the example. And you just go through and you find 2 or 3 topics that you bombed really badly. Let's say it was dynamics, mechanics, materials, and maybe it was a structural mechanics or something. And you take those topics that you bombed really poorly on, and you just make it so the percentage is that you got 1 or 2 more questions right for each of those topics you're really poor on. Well, now you're up to 66 total questions right. A lot closer to our barometer of 70 questions. So start on those and prioritize those. And we want to overall. So that was kind of number 1. This was all kind of number 1 of our first step of the assessment. Now we're going to be talking about our plan. What is our plan? Well, in our plan, we will prioritize our study topics. If you're not doing this yet, when you study for the exam, you're really leaving a lot of questions out on the table. You need to prioritize the weak topics with some exceptions. I'll explain. So prioritize our study topics, going from the topics you nailed. For a lot of people, it's probably like engineering, ethics, and math are kind of the less difficult topics, to just depending on what suits you specifically. For me, statics, mechanics and materials, structural were always my weakest topics. Prioritize those at the top of the list. So make your topic list and go through weakest to strongest so you know how to prioritize your questions going forward. Then we're going to make our study plan. Like I said, I have a sample one down below that is a great place to start, but you want to adapt it to exactly what your prioritized topics are. And make sure in our study plan that we are studying at least 6 to 7 days per week. They don't have to be long sessions always, but I think studying a little bit of time every day helps keep your mind much more fresh than really long sessions and then not doing anything for 3 or 4 days. So we're studying at least 6 to 7 days per week, hitting our weak topics every few days at least, and really improving on those. Also, in addition, having focus weeks where we just hit our weak topics that also have lots of questions on the exam. So here's what I meant by the exceptions. You may suck at dynamics. Well, guess what? There's like a max of 5 dynamics questions on the FE exam, maximum. You might only get 4 or 3 if you take the exam. It's not really worth spending an entire week studying dynamics if you know you're not going to get that many questions in the first place, when you can be dedicating it to, let's say you're really weak at hydrology or fluid mechanics. There could be 12 to 15 questions on that, 3 to 4 times the amount of questions. Your effort should be going to that. So you need to prioritize not only based on topic, but question amount. And that's really important when you're creating your study plan like this, to have lots of weak topics that also have lots of questions out in the exam, while also reviewing and refreshing strong topics and topics with lots of questions. Great. That's step 2. And you're already really kind of along your way here. Let's talk about the third total step of the things that I would need to do. Next is execution. Easier said than done for a lot of people. In terms of execution, having people to hold you accountable, printing out your study plan and schedule to make sure you get it done with checklists, I think is a really good way to keep track. Having reassessments and then modifying the study plan as you go. So maybe in the first month, you kind of sucked at statics and then you spend a month really getting it down. And then you do another assessment. Maybe it's another practice test. If you're taking your 3 months, every month taking another practice test over a couple day period, I think is a great way to reassess. If you do that and you find, wow, I'm nailing statics, but geotech is still really lagging, adjust your study plan accordingly. Okay, adjust it accordingly and adjust plan accordingly. Also, in addition, ramp up studying as you get closer to the exam. Ease yourself into it in the beginning. As you're getting closer, more motivated, you want the material to be fresher, do more studying. Don't front load your studying because then you're going to end up reviewing things that you've already learned. And then test week and day. The week before the test is not the time to learn a bunch of new topics. It's about refreshing general concepts and deloading your brain a bit. The last week is not the time to try and cram all the study in. If you're having to do that, you messed up earlier, okay? So think about general concepts, refreshing the concepts that you already know. And as you approach that final test day, as you approach test day, take some time off to give yourself mental energy for the exam, and take the 2 days before the exam light or off completely. I'm telling you, this is critical, okay? For my exam, I reviewed some notes. I spent 15 minutes reviewing notes each day, the 2 days before the exam. And that was really good. It helped me feel good. It helped me feel a little more confident going to the exam that I wasn't going to forget stuff. But past that, I let my mind just kind of clear out and be calmer and allow myself to kind of just, sink into the experience and not be weighted down by studying, and worked out really well for me. And then have your test day plan and location all figured out way before the morning of the exam. Don't wake up the morning of the exam wondering what you're going to eat, where it is, where you're going to park at the test center. Figure that stuff all out weeks ahead of time, have it all written down on a sheet of paper, and then you don't have to think about it, right? You want as little mental load as possible for that final week and final few days before the exam. So this is my plan. If I had to pass again, someone's like, gun to my head, you got to pass the exam again, this is exactly what I would do in this exact order with these exact steps. So if you're interested, follow along with this plan, see if it works for you. If you need direct help crafting a plan like this, I should probably spell assessment correctly. There we go. If you need direct help with a plan like this, you can reach out to me down below in the description or pinned comment, and we can set up a personalized plan for you to pass the exam with problems that fit your strengths and weaknesses, and a coach, someone who has passed the FE and PE civil exams on their first try, to be along with you in that journey, to make adjustments and hold you accountable to make sure you can pass that exam in 90 days. I absolutely believe it's possible and it can be done with the proper help. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, also leave that in the comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.